Hi guys, this is the IRISHZOMBIES7AR from Subculture Gaming here, bringing you a quick review on the PES 2013 demo. Now I know a lot of people do not like the PES series, or the Pro Evo series in general, because obviously on the current gen, on the Xbox and the PS3, it's been pretty poor up until about, I'd say, PES 2011, where it actually started to change. They got rid of the on the rails feel of the game, and they had a sort of realistic ball physics and everything. So yeah, I thought I'd have a little go at reviewing the demo. Although this is the very first demo, this is a very early demo, considering that it came out about 3 weeks ago, in like sort of late July, when normally they come out in sort of a month before the game even is released. So this is a very early demo, so it's very good that Konami have sort of brought this demo this early. But yeah, let's crack on with the review. Alright, so firstly, I'm going to have a quick chat about the graphics, and a very quick chat. Basically, the graphics haven't really changed in this game. The only difference they've said in graphics is obviously they've done a couple of player faces, so like David Luiz, which was already done, but well, not David Luiz then. I can't think of any specific players right now, because obviously I haven't got the full games, I haven't been able to check, but they always update player faces in general. They're always pretty up to date, and they always got a very massive plethora of realistic faces, whereas FIFA, in my opinion, doesn't really have that. They have the main sort of superstars, but they never really think about the sort of smaller players like Gary Cahill and players like that. They never really bother with them, but it seems in the early FIFA screenshots that they actually have done them sort of players again. But again, there's other players they always miss out. But yeah, back to PES anyway. But yeah, the graphics haven't changed really. Nothing really to say about them. Just the daylight mode in the game, or the daytime games, have slightly changed in sort of graphical colour. That's about it really. Right, moving on to the gameplay. Now the gameplay is a significant improvement on PES 2012, and I'd say the main reason isn't the passing. Passing has stayed the same pretty much, but I'd say it would be the shooting. The shooting has had a massive overhaul, and even the passing, tell a lie, passing has actually changed, as they've added manual shooting, manual passing and manual crossing to the game now. So how to do this is that you hold the left trigger, and if you use the normal pass, shoot or cross buttons, it does a manual sort of direction on the ball, and the little arrow comes out so that you can see where you're directing. You can take it off, because a lot of people were worried about the whole manual arrow showing exactly where you're shooting. As you saw there with the shot there, the little arrow coming out. But yeah, it can be taken out, which is very good, because I was worried about that. I thought this game is going to suck with online if you're doing manual passes and it's just blatantly showing exactly where you're putting it. But obviously Konami have thought about that anyway, so that's good. Also, Ronaldo being the cover star of this year's Pro, they've decided to fully motion capture into the game. They're not just sort of FIFA sort of motion capture and then just the same animation again and again. A bit like how they did it with Messi in PES 2009, or was it 2010? One or the other. And they sort of mocap, but it never really looked realistic, because it was just sort of one running animation. It just repeated and repeated. Whereas now Ronaldo actually has full sort of realistic running on the ball. Even his shooting is unbelievable. It's like everything about him looks like Ronaldo, plays like Ronaldo. It's unbelievable, the amount of detail. It's a shame they couldn't really go into that much detail with like players like Lampard or Kaká, stuff like that. They have done some things with these players, but they haven't really done enough as such. Although Kaká's dribbling, they've recreated that, but again they haven't had a passing sort of. They haven't mocapped him, but then to mocap every player would be ridiculous, to be honest. You never get time for it, so it's good for the game's sort of realistic look and realistic feel as well. So I'm glad they've put effort into that. Also, another gameplay feature. I'm just trying to try and think. Another gameplay feature. The goalkeepers. This is a big change. Like, the goalkeepers have been so bad in previous pros. specifically the last one, they were really bad. Like, you'd have one-on-ones and the ball would just go under them. Then on instances this still does happen, but they deal with crosses, as you see there. They deal with crosses much better. The shot stopping is much better as well, and just everything about them feels a bit more realistic. It's a shame they didn't get more animations in for sort of different save types, but they have really put effort into sort of the big sort of names like Neuer and Buffon and players like that. Like, they've really put a massive amount of effort. But yeah, I thought I'd have a little quick chat about also sort of rumoured PES 2013 news. So the rumoured news at the moment, which we will hopefully find out tomorrow, is that PES 2013 should be coming to us on around the sort of September the 20th mark. I'm not sure if this is a solid date yet, but we should find out tomorrow, as it's Gamescom on at the moment. It's the big sort of European Games convention, and Konami are there doing a full press conference tomorrow. I think it's at like 1 o'clock or something, but I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, hopefully they'll be announcing the release date, and fingers crossed, 111 blog have announced that rumoured it's around the 20th of September. So hopefully that's true, because that's a week earlier than FIFA. So hopefully that will help with the sales of Pro. And also, another thing to add is supposedly Pro Evo might have got the Argentinian and the Brazilian league, which would be great news for the sort of South American fans of Pro. I know I'm not exactly the biggest South American fan, or football wise, but I think it's a good thing to have like a mixture of leagues. Like, it's a shame that Pro have never really, they had the German league in the early days, never licensed though, but they haven't got it in this. It seems again they've missed out, but that's just licensing issues between FIFA really. So obviously EA have got all of the FIFA licenses, and they basically dominate really. It's a bit unfair for Konami really, but to sort of deal with, but I think the community do well with it, with the whole editing kits and the whole community sort of editing is pretty good, especially for the PC. Some of the patches for the PC make the game look so good, like they add new sort of textures to the kits and stuff. But enough babbling on about that. This has been just a quick PES 2013 review. Not so quick as I thought, but still. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks when the FIFA 13 demo comes out, I'll be doing the same thing for FIFA. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you soon.